with a window cleaning pro in minutes. Literally minutes. Jordan came that afternoon, leaving my windows spotless and ready for spring. Whether it's window cleaning, power washing, or repairs, the Jiffy app is a must. Download the Jiffy app today or sign up at jiffyondemand.com and use the code AM640 for $25 off your first job. Jiffy, fast and reliable home maintenance for less.
As a member of the Canadian Broadcast Standards Council, Global News Radio 640 Toronto is committed to the highest standards of broadcasting. We believe in being accountable to you, the listener, in our information and entertainment programming. If you have a comment to make about our programming, write to us. We'll respond to your letter and send you information on the council and its codes. A message from the Canadian Association of Broadcasters and Global News Radio 640 Toronto.
This spring on Showcase, my patriarchal ancestor, Lawrence Rutherford, founded our town. The creator of The Good Place and Parks and Recreation, Nathan.
There is, however, an unexpected side to this, as Imogen Fuchs reports from Zurich.
Hi, I'm Selena. I'm 19 years old. I'm an economics student. This is where I live. It used to be expensive hotel. Business hotel, and now a lot of students live here.
That sounds horrible.
With 31 floors, this was once the tallest hotel in Switzerland, a landmark on Zurich's skyline, and a favorite with wealthy business travelers.
No students live there.
The Shift Daily podcast is available when the shift is complete. Just go to curiouscast.ca or your favorite podcast platforms. Search the shift.
We're going to get interrupted over and over because every time we go live, YouTube gets our IP address to Tomos.
Yeah, just go to it right there.
Number one viewer will not leave us alone.
Shift.
They'll seem to get the fucking idea we don't
Pretty
like
awesome stuff. Might as do that. Ryan O'Donnell is here. Brendan Kelly is here as well as we take a little look at all of the stories of the day. We share, we talk story about them. May the 4th be with you is officially coming up here in about 35 minutes as we graduate until May the 4th across Canada. We got to wait for BC, eh?
No, you don't.
You BC Pacific time zone slowpokes.
We're always last to the party. It's no fun city. That's what they call it here.
Can't be the case, man. No way. All right, so let's do some Are You Okay? Are you okay with the nickname Disco Andy? I mean, I really am.
It's a great nickname. Yeah, I think it's great.
I was working because he skips, right? He does jumps.
Eat a big fool, gotta say my grace. With the beef. It's your boy. JG, nigga. You think you sick, my.
So I don't know why this is allowed to go on for so long, but yeah, every time we go live, within seconds we're getting bombarded, and we know who these people are from all sorts of ways, but why is YouTube handing our IP address up to anybody, let alone the worst people in existence?
This another case, I spit in your mother face and spit in her mother face. My son like me to spit in your fucking face. Spit straight seats from one and flip out another base. Remember in the days I had to flip out my mother base. Before I eat a big fool, gotta say my grace. Spit with the beef fabulous, watch me take his heart. Give him chest shot so his girl need to break his heart. He might not get touched if you play his part. We ain't just making songs, we been making art. And on the low, I'm still eating like Hannibal. Don't stay still, then you die like Anna Cole. Got a couple racks last week, now I'm on the road. Think I'm Trinidad James, how I'm on the go. Buy a half from a link, I'll buy a nose. Next time you go for the brick, I'ma slide the hole.
Nigga said he ride, then he turn into a snitch.
Just another shooter, another body on the strip.
Niggas gonna sit there, niggas getting pitched.
Just another shooter, another body on the strip.
My niggas roll 4-5 full of hollow tips.
Just another shooter, another body on the strip.
Another
nigga shot, another body on the strip.
Be locked on the lookout. Now I'm on a D, it's the clock that I took out. Your soul that it took out. Niggas like to rat until they tongue get took out. Anytime it's beat, the young boy never shook out. Burning in your face with a bogey. You ain't shooting with me side to side, you ain't my homie. Never trust a bitch, what my OG told me. Cause they quick to leave a nigga lonely. Another homicide, another shooting on the strip. When niggas got robbed, I lost their life for a slip.
By the way, there was a fucking drive-by shooting this morning. Never mind.
Nigga get a grip and fully loaded in this bitch. I ain't even talking, I'm giving facelifts. And on some real shit, take a ride with me in a Pontiac. I take you to my birthplace where it started at. Where feds off some shit, cause another nigga shot another body on the strip. These niggas say they ride, then they turn into a snitch.
Just another shoot, another body on the strip.
These niggas wanna sit that a nigga getting pitched.
Just another shoot, another body on the strip.
My niggas run with 4-5 through a hollow tips.
Just another shoot, another body on the strip.
Grind daily on the strip.
Another nigga shot, another body on the strip.
Switching off just a bit for the pain that I felt now. Temptations from the devil's where has me held down, stressed out. I hope I don't mentally melt down. Like anything in my way can get shelled down. Time to move smarter now. My heart's harder now. Used to see your boy, but now you're looking at a father now. Gotta go hard, I gotta do this for my daughter now. Got so much beef, it's like I'm living in a slaughterhouse. But that's okay, I still walk with my head high. Can't rest my head unless my strap's by my bedside. Free my brother Burns, got an M doing dead time. I ain't asked for shit, so why the fuck they trying to beg mine? Thinking I'm a liquor down, got something for these grown guys. Who's gonna rise? Just Jeezy Loke and it's 4, 5, 30 money clean. Probably think I'm doing laundry fans. Think I'm robbing mans, pulling straps on my jogging pants. I'm stressed out, I'm thinking on some next shit. Got some enemies that been sitting on my checklist. Death wish, but I ain't sending a message. Y'all just send my goons on some Wild West End shit.
These niggas say they ride, then they turn into a snitch.
Just another shoot, another body on the strip.
These niggas wanna sit that a nigga getting pitched.
Just another shoot, another body on the strip.
My niggas run with 4-5 through a hollow tips.
Just another shoot, another body on the strip.
Grind daily on the strip.
Another nigga shot, another body on the strip.
Copy fit, yeah, you know we stay locked and low. 4 or 5 slugs, extra goons coming out your door. Once upon a time, I used to roll with the crow. Now the strap all black, leaving bodies on the road. Did the bitch straight, I ain't getting no parole. Now I'm home, watch the money, nigga, take away your soul. Everything I flip, I stay on the hip. Have my young boy jam if you try to force his grip. Niggas say they riding, then it went and turned snitch frontin'. That nigga was never really about the shit. Other side, never catch flea, go and switch. A nigga cross the line, then that nigga getting pitched. And the squad eating non-stop till we fucking rich. Just another day, another dollar on the strip.
Yesterday, she didn't join her landlady in the breakfast nook.
That's very scary.
It's a spooky movie. There's growth.
I have a little cold, and that cat of ours bounced into my room.
I mean, I think he's all right. I think he's kind of weird, but...
Oh, that should be interesting with all that.
Yeah, I'm always
I wonder what little subtle things about coronavirus we're going to pick up tonight.
These niggas say they ride, then they turn into a snitch.
Just another shoot, another body on the strip.
These niggas wanna sit that a nigga getting pitched.
Just another shoot, another body on the strip.
My niggas run with 4-5 through a hollow tips.
Just another shoot, another body on the strip.
Grind daily on the strip.
Another nigga shot, another body on the strip.
I hear a lot of talk.
Oops.
Become the last of the dying breed. Twin hammers look like the Siamese. I got that beam from the Japanese. My French girl wavy, can remind me of mac and cheese. It is what it has to be. I'm killing out who's after me. They have to see.
Canadian. Damn, son, where'd you find?
EDM music group, baby. Woo! Pow! Yeah, we're trying to get the same, I'm just trying to get rich. We're doing for the big face, they're presidents. I got a Lamborghini dream, still got Mercedes-Benz. And yes, I'm a boss, but I'm looking for a lick. You gotta get it how you live when life is like this. And yes, I need 36, a whole fucking brick. Rolling through the city, got a Louis Loafs on. And I told these motherfuckers, yeah, I get my smoke on. Cheech, strong, bust out the bomb. Smoking all day, flipping bricks by the yard. And you can try it too, but don't quit your day job. The streets eat you up and make your time real hard. That's why I got all these tattooed scars. Chilling in the city bar, rolling in the fancy cars, smoking out the superstars. Yeah, I look like a model. B-I-O-R. Money in the rubber band, stack it till you cap parts. Yeah, I got the trade powers, got a real loud pop. I do my dirt in the dirt, fucking do it 5 days. I got so many toys, AKs, SKs, long range, short range, red stain, no brains. Who am I kidding, motherfucker, crime pays?
One of the students' assignments to his Instagram, which is really cool. It was a photo of him photoshopped onto a horse. He said he loved the work, the passion, the memes. Pretty cool stuff, though. I mean, if you're going to hear of kids doing things, that's pretty cool. I mean, to the teacher, I salute the take it and run with it, anything to make it work. Mm-hmm. It's too bad the first kid wasn't a fan of it. Yeah, I'm trying to get the same, I'm just trying to get rich. We do it for the big face, dead presidents. I got a Lamborghini dream, still got Mercedes-Benz. Yes, I'm a boss, I'm looking for a lick. You gotta get it how you live when life is like this.
It's amazing the image that we see that the column collapsed.
You're calling them from China. This is BBC, but it sounds like a Chinese phone line.
Down.
Yeah, the pictures are appalling. The train is kind of sort of split in two at a very sharp angle where it's collapsed. Who is taking responsibility for this? Is it the local authorities, the government? Who is responding immediately?
Now, the local authorities, the mayor of the city, Claudia Sheinbaum, is responding, and she has said that they are taking care of people who were injured, and she said that she's going to that there is going to be an investigation about the accident.
No, I'm sure there will be. Listen, Ivan, thank you very much indeed. Professor Ivan Islas joining us from Mexico City. In the background, you could hear some of the coverage, and that was Claudia Sheinbaum, who's the city's mayor, talking. As Ivan was saying, columns holding up a bridge of the metro railway collapsed, and the pictures show an ongoing incident. Emergency services there. Ivan talking of 20 people. That's not confirmed. We had a death toll of 15 before that train accident in Mexico City. More throughout the coming hours here on the World Service.
Those things don't fall down.
It's news to BBC World Service. Let's take you to Egypt now. A court there will today hear the appeal filed by the insurers of the Ever Given ship, which ran aground and blocked the Suez Canal back in March against the whole fucking $916 million as compensation for the 6-day blockage of the trade route. Joining us now on the line from Egypt is our correspondent, Sally Nabil. So this hearing, Sally, welcome to the programme. It's all about who's responsible and I guess who pays for what. Is that why the Ever Given has been there this long?
Exactly. It's a legal dispute based mainly on who's going to pay the compensation claims the Suez Canal Authority is asking for. And apparently the figure they have asked for is far more than what the ship owners and the insurance companies have expected. They have asked for nearly $1 billion. And we understand that this sum of money includes $300 million as a salvage bonus for the Suez Canal Authority for floating the ship after being stuck for nearly a week in the canal, and it includes also another $300 million as a claim for the loss of reputation. According to one of the insurance companies, this large amount of money remains unsupported. They don't know exactly why the authorities are asking for this large figure. But the canal authorities, they didn't really give an explanation, and they just said that the damage was really huge, as navigation in the waterway was suspended for nearly a week last March when the Ever Given was stuck there.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because the loss of reputation argument, you can argue they do have a strong case, but it's not as if people can go, well, I'll use another canal then. that is the main route, isn't it? So what are we expecting to hear in court today? Will it be wrapped up in one day? It sounds quite...
The authorities' side here, we haven't been hearing anything. What they have said so far is that the Ever Given will be there until investigations are concluded and until a settlement is reached with the ship owners. Again, insurance companies are saying the claims are largely unsupported, but it seems that the authorities, they insist on getting that large amount of money, and that has pushed the whole thing into court. So it's really early to tell whether the whole thing is going to be wrapped up today or not.
I would smash
Meanwhile,
it right
a crew member still on the
ship. I would twist it right in
Yes, this is true. The ship, when it was stuck, it had 26 crew members on board.
Not in the same spot
and,
either. Like a little bit up,
already left
just a little bit
because they had some personal reasons. They have been granted permission by the Egyptian authorities to leave, and another 3 left because their contract with the ship owners have expired. And again, the canal authorities have allowed them to leave, and the authorities here say they do not mind as long as the ship has enough people on board to man it and to guarantee its safety. So, and the thing is, we know that they're being catered for by the ship owners, perhaps the insurance companies as well. They have internet, they have food, they have water, but they do not know for how long they are going to be stuck there.
They have like 2,400 containers.
Can you sort out, Sally, who was ultimately responsible for this?
I would get bored. I'd start cracking open containers sooner or later.
After you sorted out the compensation, I mean, you would think that the two outcomes are sort of inextricably inclined. You can't say, okay, here's the compensation settlement before you've actually worked out what went wrong.
Actually, an investigation should have highlighted that, and it should have been concluded weeks ago. After the ship was refloated last March, by the end of March, the authorities said, the head of the Suez Canal authorities in a press conference said that the investigation is going to be concluded in 1 week. But that has dragged on for over a month now, and so far we do not yet know who is exactly to blame. But what the canal authorities are saying, they are saying we are not responsible. There are a number of factors, potentially human and technical errors, but so far we haven't heard anything about the potential outcome of the investigation.
Sally, thank you for the update. We'll watch that court case with interest.
Do Star Wars.
In the oceans, we were talking about the problems of coral reefs a little earlier in the program. Fish stocks under strain, not, however, around Mbenje Island. Maybe there's a lesson, so we need to know more. Mbenje Island is in Lake Malawi, and it's a very good place to go fishing.
That locomotive didn't sound healthy.
That money on my mind state, bitches like you, elevated like a crime rate. It's full of hate. If you really think that you better than the devil, then you gotta get a separate fate. When I rip off my shit, people that diss me get they go bad. Well, you get fucking uncountry and that, and then you get clapped and crack, and then you don't know what the fuck happened. You're just like flat. You don't even see past my identity, which be the DERELICT, the Avenue E. Fuck wanna be, stay hating on me because I am better than fucking competitor. I say whatever, you bitches can lay the fuck down. My crew is tough, just like some others who cooks and stuff. What are you saying? You're buffing your name up in your rhymes. Fuck around once more and you're gonna find that I shit a knife up in your spine. Wonder this mind is something to love because it makes you trip into lust. And when I do murder, you trust me, and it's just because I want your trust.
I'ma get that spinach. I be sinning, I'm winning. They don't like it, yeah, I bet. I see the pain in their heart and their chest. Watch you said I'ma get that spinach. I be sinning, I'm winning. They don't like it, yeah, I bet. I see the pain in their heart and their chest. I love the rain when it falls, yeah, I'm blessed. Fuck the fame and the cars and the jets. I had them thinking I was gone to the psych ward. I never left to live a life you would die for. Hell, I can't save her, I'm no lifeguard. Maybe you can get the deed, but I might charge. Pull up to the spot, they're like, who is that there? Hands up, give me the loot like a cashier. What you thought, are you dumb? I don't play shit. I killed you and your brother with the same clip. Kind of bullshit you've been talking, boys, ain't you? I'm a different man now, leave you faceless. Watch you said it, I'ma get that spinach. I be sinning, I'm winning. They don't like it, yeah, I bet. I see the pain in their heart and their chest. Watch you said it, I'ma get that spinach. I be sinning, I'm winning. They don't like it, yeah, I bet. I see the pain in their heart and their chest. Yo, first spot, then I'm leaving unidentified. Just a rental, had to drop it off at Enterprise. Shell casings in the whip. Had to check it twice. I think my
emulate areas across the country, but definitely it's not going to be easy because, mind you, these are the people who are protecting the fish based on spiritual beliefs.
Exactly. Yeah, isn't that interesting? It's the spiritual belief. People are afraid of the gods. They're less afraid of the government. That seems to be the message. Charles, many thanks indeed. Charles Pensulo, who has travelled to Benjay Island to, well, as he was explaining there, to cover the opening of the season by the chief on the island. And good luck to the fishing. Good fishing, it sounds like.
Well, I guess it's the whole story.
Newsday, BBC World Service. Headlines today. G7 foreign ministers are meeting in London for the first face-to-face talk since the start of the coronavirus pandemic. Wow. Coronavirus cases in India have passed 20 million with no let-up in the surge of infections. And as we've been hearing in the last 10 minutes or so here on Newsday, a metro train has plunged onto a busy road in Mexico City after an overpass collapsed, leaving several dead and many injured. James is back with the sports news.
Thank you very much indeed, Claire. I told you on Friday about the social media boycott or blackout that they were calling,
or 3111, or go to nrlawyers.com. That's nrlawyers.com.
Hi. All that shit, they give good advice. Yeah, this about to be a genocide. These motherfuckers want me dead, but I can never die. I'm the reason why your wife said she met a guy. 20 minutes in a bushes just to get inside. Yeah, we are not the same kind. You gotta pay dues, I already paid twice. Y'all don't make moves, all you do is waste time. I'ma always be woke while you haters stay blind. Watch you said it, I'ma get that spinach. I be sinning, I'm winning. They don't like it, yeah, I bet. I see the pain in their heart and their chest. Watch you said it, I'ma get that spinach. I be sinning, I'm winning. They They don't like it. Yeah, I bet. I see the pain in their heart and their chest.
With our vast selection of decking and railing, Monaghan Lumber, king of the woods, your exterior project specialist. Monaghan Lumber, king of the woods.
Blackout Day, or Match Day, I think was a great initiative, and we used it for our internally to see how big is the issue. Yeah, in particular on such a match day where everyone is paying attention, and we looked into three.
Now 416-398-2500. 416-398-2500.
Do you suffer from congestion, sneezing, and itchy eyes in late summer to early fall? Clienta Research is conducting a ragweed allergy study with compensation up to $2,675. Ask about the referral program. Visit at clienta.com.
How the fuck do you spell that?
It's dark out, but we'll keep the lights on. It's The Shift with Shane Hewitt.
Using your player protection service to detect these at Sports Radar. But I mean, look, how many are we talking? Because I mean, I don't go and actively look at this kind of thing, but it must, and I can't imagine it. I mean, I don't get very many abusive messages on Twitter, I'll be honest, and I'm quite good about it, but I can't imagine getting more than one a day. It must be very hurtful. So how many are we talking?
We like to, watch a little hockey, which is like Canada. Montreal Canadiens beat.
But everyone was spotting this on the weekend, over the weekend because of the topic. Yeah, I'll give you an example. We looked into the match between Tottenham Hotspur and Sheffield United, and we detected over 50 considerable abhorrent abuse directed to the players of both teams. Considering that this is happening on a day when football decided to fight back, this is shocking. You asked me what can be done. At the end of the day, you have different opportunities. First of all, I think what happened so far is great, but it should not be a one-off initiative. Now, clubs, the players, the victims, they should follow up. Whether they do it directly with police or with companies like Sport Radar, who provide such services. I have a team of over 30 investigators coming from the world of military defense, English Navy, financial fraud, law enforcement, any kind of law enforcement, and they're specialized to detect any kind of, let's say, criminal activity in the digital space.
So they're good at what they do, yeah.
Exactly, and 1 year ago we launched a service which is dedicated to protect players against social, or the players or individuals, because not only players, it's also officials, referees, any kind of people against social media abuse. What is important, I think, to understand, and this is currently the disease in the digital space that we're working in or living in, the most people are thinking they are anonymous. No one can trace them. And the opposite is the case. Yeah. We have concrete cases where we supported such victims and brought the evidence to the prosecutor. Provide the evidence here, this is a troll, this is the clear name, this is the address, this is the email or telephone number. And then you can prosecute these people. There's a way to at least detect a good number of them.
Andres, thank you very much. It sounds brilliant. It sounds exactly like the type of thing that needs to be done. Appreciate you talking to us here on Newsday on the BBC World Service.
Thank you very much.
That's Andreas Kranik there talking to me here on Newsday about how their player protection service can help identify these online abusers. Topical subject really after the social media boycott here in the UK over the weekend. Sport Today on air, on air here on the BBC World Service from 18:30 GMT. Look.
Have that. The best fans, the Leaf fans have waited so long. The Oilers fans have been faithful for the last 10 or
Going to play our trump cards again as to whether we think he actually does have a genuine injury or not. I know you're coming down on the side of not, but all will be reported on Newsday tomorrow. James, thank you.
Let's go to the Philippines now. Second COVID surge is where they're at.
Oh, wait a second, but Miss Brooks has a cold.
I'll be an interior decorator, but I do have an eye for symmetry.
one of the longest and hardest lockdowns in the world, the economic impact has been absolutely crippling. Thousands forced onto the streets in search of food. Howard Johnson reports from Manila.
I'm in the car park of a crematorium in the north of Manila. There's a queue of ambulances here. Just beyond the building, I can see a plume of smoke coming up. Apparently, they're delivering around 3 bodies a day to the crematorium.
I speak with an ambulance driver.
Absolutely, they're busy because there's a lot of urn inside. That means 24 hours. They're working 24 hours.
The pressure is on in Manila's hospitals too. In the last month, bed space has been in short supply. We're just driving inside the grounds of San Lazaro Hospital, one of the main hospitals here for dealing with infectious diseases. And I can see a line for symptomatic patients. That's why we're inside the car, to maintain social distance. And behind that line is a field tent set up by UNICEF to deal with coronavirus patients. I can see one man lying on a stretcher with an oxygen tank to his right-hand side. But a second hard lockdown has seen daily new cases begin to fall, down from April's peak of 15,000 now to around 8,000 per day, according to the Department of Health. However, doctors' groups are warning that with less than 1% of the population fully vaccinated, the country remains in a precarious situation. Maria Limpin is the vice president of the Philippine College of Physicians.
Right now, there are some local government units that have stopped the vaccination program because there's no available vaccines anymore. There seems to be no effective programs to contain the pandemic. That is when we would probably expect seesaw lockdowns and then release and then lockdown again.
But the lockdown has pushed the country's economy into a deep recession and triggered joblessness on a scale not seen since World War II. But when the government's social welfare response was found lacking, Philippine people power stepped up to fill the gaps. Manila resident Ana Patricia Non dragged a small bamboo cart onto her street corner and stocked it up with food staples. Above it, a sign, "Give what you can, take what you need." The sentiment struck a chord with the nation and donations began to flood in. But when a member of the government questioned if the initiative had ties to armed communism, Anna temporarily suspended it for fear of retribution. The UN report last year noted that some leftists, who've been red tagged, as they call it here, were subsequently killed by masked gunmen.
Red tagging is a big deal here in the Philippines. If you're saying something against the government or you have opinions not aligning with the government, so you will be tagged as a communist. The goal is very sincere and very pure.
What started as a single food bank has now evolved to hundreds of initiatives across the Philippines.
I'm standing on the corner of the Malacanang presidential palace where President Rodrigo Duterte resides, and across the road from it is a long queue, around 200 people long at the moment and growing. They're waiting for food handouts from a community pantry that's been set up here. Speaking to people here, they say there aren't enough jobs at the moment and that government aid is in short supply. Cancelled. You said your ayuda is cancelled.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
But shortly before 2 p.m, it was abruptly shut down by the police after an order had been given to distribute the food to the local council. A group of women who'd been queuing since 10 a.m. said they are yet to receive ayuda, financial aid from the government.
No ayuda.
The government says it has distributed 75% of its financial aid program to Metro Manila. The handout is $21 per person. The hard lockdown is up for review in mid-May, and the government will then have to choose once more between prioritizing the economy or the overwhelmed healthcare system.
Howard Johnson reporting from Manila there on that second COVID surge and how it's affecting the economy, the people, healthcare, everything. Thank you for all your comments today. You've been getting onto Facebook and telling us what you think of Bill and Melinda Gates' news that they are divorcing after 27 years of marriage, how it might affect their charitable foundation. Kasim Paridi in New York says this: heartbreaking, truly sad indeed, so surprised Another example how the insanely wealthy don't escape failures and disappointments in their private lives. I also hope this doesn't affect their generous charitable work. You can read more on that story by going to BBC World Service on Facebook and comment on other stories we've covered today here on Newsday. That's it from Lawrence and myself. We're back tomorrow. Take care.
All the computers at the library used to have stickers on them that said donated by the...
This is why you're shopping at Tom's Place. The quality of the merchandise, the style, the pieces.
I feel like I'm in the dream. We're bringing voices from the nuclear disaster into the streets of Tokyo.
Fukushima and COVID pandemics are crossing over.
The Cultural Frontline at bbcworldservice.com. This is the BBC World Service, and on our website you can explore more of our programmes, from documentaries to science. Listen and download at any time by going to bbcworldservice.com. On air, online and on smartphone, this is the BBC World Service, the world's radio station. Coming up on the Arts Hour with me, Nikki Beatty, actor Riz Ahmed on playing a character who goes deaf in Sound of Metal.
We only